On this episode of the Whiskey Tornado, we review Oppidan Smoke Sea Peated Bourbon. One of my favorite things about bourbon is using it to celebrate a special occasion, a special milestone in life, or just using it to remember a friend who's passed. And today we're going to review this bottle, and this is my bottle that I use to remember my good friend Patty, who passed away a year ago today. Okay, a little bit of info on this bottle. This is a craft distillery out of Wheeling, Illinois, which is near Chicago, which is actually where Patty was from. It is a straight bourbon. It's finished in French oak and Islay Scotch barrels. So probably what happened is a distillery here in America emptied their bourbon barrel, sent that barrel to Scotland. A Scottish distillery then filled that barrel with peated whiskey, emptied that, sent it back, and Oppidan purchased that barrel and aged some of their whiskey in that. All right, guys, so what I want to do today is just nose this, taste this, and remember Patty a little bit. I am not versed enough in Scotch to give this a score, so it is a peated bourbon, actually, but it does have some Scotch characteristics to it, some Islay Scotch characteristics, so we're just going to enjoy it. I'm going to share some memories about Patty with you while we do this. On the nose, it's obviously peated, or you're getting a lot of notes from the peated barrel that it was in. Little grain heavy. I think this is a 4-grain. It is, yeah, it's a 4-grain bourbon, Solera aged bourbon, finished in French oak and peated Islay Scotch barrels. So yeah, you pick up that peat. It's pretty prominent peat, actually. At least for me, for a mostly bourbon drinker, the peat comes off pretty heavy. That like Band-Aid medicinal note comes off. I'm getting some grain in there. I'm getting some corn, and maybe some dark fruits under there. It's really nice. I'm going for the taste. Really interesting, especially considering I'm used to all those like sweet bourbon flavors. I actually got a good amount of oak on that first sip. I'm gonna do another one here. Oh yeah, it's like getting some chocolate notes in there. Some of those red fruits. Maybe, what is that fruit? Maybe prune, almost. A little bit of prune, which I don't know that I've got too often. There's like a hint of, I always get a craft note. It's like a corn note or like hay, but it's really light. I think it's mostly being covered up by the peat. So I get those medicinal Band-Aid notes, which some people don't like. I don't mind. I have to be in the mood for it. That's why I think this is like the perfect memory bottle to me, is because if I'm remembering somebody, if I'm taking time to remember their life and appreciate them, I want to sit down, I want to think about the flavors, I want to explore the whiskey, I want a challenging, complex whiskey to do that with. I don't want something that's really simple that I'm just going to drink. And certainly Patty's life was one that deserves to be remembered. I ran fitness groups on Facebook, I was in Men's Fitness Magazine, we had like thousands of people in these fitness groups, and she was always in there, always encouraging people, super funny, super supportive. She came down for one of my fitness retreats and gave me a big hug. I got to meet her. She cried when she met me, and met everyone else in our fitness groups, because we became like this family, this great cohesive unit of just supporting each other, try to be fit, healthy for our families. And she was such a huge part of that. So I think it's important that once a year I sit down and remember her and toast to her. And this bottle's perfect for that, because it's got those complex flavors. It's challenging, it's interesting, and it was distilled near where she lived. She was such a wonderful person. Even when she only had a few weeks to live, she was still posting and making jokes. And we had scheduled time, me and a lot of friends in this group, to go see her, but she passed away really quickly and we weren't able to. But I know she's somewhere, so cheers, Patty, wherever you are. Yeah, it's really good. It's interesting. I don't get any of those craft notes. Well, maybe a little, but not too bad. The Islay covers it up enough, I think. But there are some nice chocolate notes in there, some nice fig notes, some red fruits. Peat, if you like peat. If you don't like peat, stay away from this. You're not going to like it. But the peat isn't too heavy. It's actually pretty well balanced, I think, for somebody who's drank just a little bit of scotch. But I don't want to give this a review today. I just wanted to take a minute, remember my good friend Patty, and I bought this bottle on 10/23 of 2019. So this is the 1-year anniversary of her passing. So anyway, if you guys think about it tonight, raise a glass to Patty. Till the next episode, cheers, guys.